Thank you and good afternoon. Chiefs need more support at left tackle unless they make a huge deal. Unless these starters want to just start, why can't we get a backup for Wanya Morris? I haven't seen anything from Ken Santa Mejia to make him start, and Andy Reid didn't make any encouraging signs during his press conference this week. Me personally, I just think we sign him and we go with the left tackle situation. Sign Donovan Smith. Or David Bakhtiari. Here's more on that.
Yeah, well, if you're looking down the road, I think the problems they're having offensively, including at left tackle, are a bigger headline. Hey, they won the game. Congratulations. They did what they needed to do. That was a good game for them to win, but there were some things that were exposed yesterday that I just don't think are sustainable. They have to fix them and do, or at least do better. And if they can't, I just can't see them beating a series of good teams in the playoffs. But who knows? They got to 9-0 by doing it, so maybe they can.
I don't think they can with Kingsley Suamataia at left tackle. And so, therefore, is the next time that Wanya Morris can't going to go, do you think we'll see 76 out on the field? And let me say specifically at tackle. I don't know, maybe they try to make a move. Maybe he goes in at guard and you move Tooney out. I'm of the opinion if there was anybody who really could play left tackle worth the damn, they'd already be on this roster. Right. I'm sure they're checking every possible number of everybody, maybe going to work some guys out. But to me, you're now at a point that Joe Tooney's got to start taking reps at left tackle because, one, Wanya Morris usually misses some snaps in every game. And so I don't think you can afford for those snaps to be Kingsley Suamataia at this point in his career.
Yeah, they miscalculated badly. They thought they had enough at that position. They don't. So
did they miscalculate, or is this just that? Before you move off that part, I'm sorry to interrupt. Did they miscalculate, or is this just the reality of picking 32nd every year and being up against the cap?
Well, yeah, but there's some things, probably lower cost things they could have done to get this done. I mean, did they have to think? So if they hadn't signed Taylor, maybe they have money to spend on the other. They had to have him. They gave up a draft pick. Remember they traded up to get him. And so they thought he was good enough, and they thought that Wanya Morris was good enough. So, I still think Morris might get there. Hey, Suamataia is 21 years old. He may figure it out at some point, too. But clearly he's not ready right now. And so if Morris can't play, if he can't hold up, they've got some problems. I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm wondering whether they shouldn't bring Lucas Niang off the practice squad, maybe put him on the right side and put Taylor on the left side. I don't know. I don't know that that's any better than what they've got now, but it sure is worth trying if they have to go back to Suamataia.
It is better than Suamataia being out there. And I say that as a guy who, look, I think Lucas Niang is solid. He's okay when he plays. It's kind of like Wanya Morris. He ain't going through a game playing all the snaps, right? And he's not going through a season playing all the games. And so that's where you start to run into some trouble. But, yeah, I think you bring up a good one. I haven't heard anybody else mention Lucas Niang, but that would be an upgrade, would it not?
I think so. I mean, obviously the Chiefs at this point at least don't agree. But you can't win a game. They won one yesterday. It's going to be very hard for them to win a series of games with Suamataia at left tackle. He's just not ready, and they got to quit pretending that he is.
Is this like? Is it a worthwhile effort that you can only really measure a guy? Let's cross our fingers and hope Wanya Morris can play. Somebody, there needs to be a real conversation about, like, who's the guy that's been saying that this one should be active? Because you got to step in my office here. We're going to have a chat.
Yeah, he didn't look like a guy who was overwhelmed at training camp. I mean, that was not what we saw there. But, practice is different during the regular season. It's all about preparing for the game, and it's done at something way less than training camp practice speed or game speed. I mean, it's not. It's you can tell if a guy's picking up concepts and he's doing what he's supposed to do. But in terms of whether he can hold up against Nick Bonito on a Sunday afternoon at Arrowhead Stadium, no, you don't know that. And so you're projecting, or I don't want to say guessing, but you're projecting a little bit when you do that. And so I think that's hard to do. I think sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith when you do that with a guy, and maybe that's what they done with him, and thought that maybe he was going to be okay, but clearly he wasn't yesterday.
Which is, again, see my original point, when you have a bunch of guys who are rookies, which are 3 of their 4 backup offensive linemen on the active roster are rookies. Like, he's the worst left tackle play I've ever seen in a professional football game. Have you seen worse?
Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. I
Okay.
can't tell you whether I have or not, but it was pretty bad. I will go with you there. And
even if we don't talk about bringing up Lucas Niang for the practice squad,
he's got to be worth a shot after what Suamataia did yesterday. I mean, it can't be a whole lot worse. So you might as well go throw him in there and see what you got if you're at that point. I would go with Lucas Niang personally. That's what I would do. I'd bring him up from the practice squad, put him in a right or have him active, and then if you needed him, if Morris can't play, then you switch Taylor to the left side and put Niang in at right tackle.
Kansas City Royals are talking about moving downtown, and then they're talking about moving to the Sprint campus out south. I had to think really hard about this one, where in the hell it would be. Well, I figured that out, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But here's where it is, I guess, if the Royals decide to do it. It's not a scenic area at all. If you want to say more, we'll do more out there than here. Okay, cool. But I can't agree with your opinion, and I really don't know why I would go out there. Also, another idea is Johnson County Community College Royals. That all relates. That's baseball in the stadium.
Tonight in Johnson County, Overland Park hints that it would welcome a new stadium from the Chiefs or the Royals to keep them in the Metro.
It's a new development in a story that Fox 4 News has been following from the very beginning. The Royals and Chiefs still trying to decide where they'll play during the next decade after that failed sales tax vote in Jackson County last spring. Fox 4's Jonathan Katz live at 117th and Knoll, the site of the former Sprint headquarters, now home to Asperia. John?
Yeah, John, so Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas hinted at this site in an interview he did with us just about 3 weeks ago. Today, the Royals wouldn't comment.
I hear a lot of different baseball stadium ideas all the time, from Washington Square Park to the Crossroads to the Sprint campus in Overland Park to everything under the sun. I think that there is a lot more work to be done on the Royals sharing with us where they'd like that site to be.
Tuesday morning, Overland Park sent Fox 4 a statement saying they're supportive of their hometown teams. We know the Chiefs and Royals belong in the Kansas City region and will do everything in our power to keep them here. Mayor Kurt Skoog would not do an interview with Fox 4, but Kansas State Senator J.R. Clays would.
I think Overland Park's a great location for the Royals, and I think that there's a developer there that right now, might be in the running for the site. And that doesn't exclude other sites, but it certainly means that that's one that's being taken seriously right now.
The owner of the now Asperia campus is Occidental Management out of Wichita. They would not speak to Fox 4 on Tuesday.
We continue to have good conversations.
When it comes to the Chiefs, Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt said last month he was talking to Missouri's political leaders about renovating GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium, and he hoped to have more direction by the spring.
On the Kansas side, they obviously have a major incentive sitting there. It's an excellent incentive that gets them Super Bowls being played here in Kansas at their stadium.
Johnson County Board of County Commission Chair Mike Kelly released a statement today as well, saying it is his priority the teams stay in the region as well.
Thursday night football. The Eagles of Washington Commanders. It'll be a good one. 7-2 Eagles versus 7-3 Washington Commanders. Jalen Hurts quarterback, Saquon Barkley running back, wide receiver A.J. Brown, defensive players Jalen Carter and Zach Braun, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. For the Commanders, quarterback Jaden Daniels and Trey McClain, defensive player Shaden O. Kick is at 7:20 tonight. College basketball, the Missouri Tigers will oppose the MVSU. Donovan Sanders and Caleb Grill are players to watch out for. For LSU, players to watch out for are LSU and Kansas State. Kansas State is favored by 5.5. Cam Carter, a transfer formerly of Kansas State, now at LSU. Brandon Hitson and other players to watch out for: David Naginson and C.J. Coleman-Hawkinson. Tip for that game is at 8 o'clock. Call that your preview for Kansas State and Missouri. That's Sam on Sports.